What's up, guys? It's Leroy Jenkins here for another video, a Police Sim NYC video. In this video, we're going to be using the Ford Interceptor utility on squad mode. So let's head on over to it. This is the shorter way, and then bam, squad. Spin it, spin it, spin it. As you can see, there's one key difference between cruiser and squad, and it's that squad has high risers. And now you may be asking, Leroy, why the high risers? Well, we'll get into that a little bit later, after we talk about some announcements. First announcement of the day. Alright, let's try that over. First announcement of the day is for subscriber of the month. You have to put your user profile link in the description down below. I mean, not the description, Jesus. The comment section down below, because some of you have been putting your usernames. However, some of the usernames become censored whenever they're searched. Don't know why. And so yeah, put the profile link, and if you don't know how to do that, you basically just go to roblox.com or home, and then you click on the 3 bars here, and then you'll see the whole list of like home, games, or something else, and then it'll say profile. So then, oh boy, you click on profile, and then after that you just copy and paste the link that it says. It'll say like roblox.com/profile and then some numbers or letters after it. All you have to do is copy and paste that so that I know what your username is, and then you'll be entered in to being subscriber of the month. Yeah, that's announcement number 1. Announcement number 2 is there will be a poll up in the corner here for who is interested in Liberty County. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I think it's Liberty County. But the poll will say the right game. Holy mopping. That's a block. Should we take him down? We can try. Let's try to take him down. Where'd he go? Did he just bolt down the corner? Where is he? He's not in his car. He's not in here. Is he in the back room? No. I don't know where he is. So what are you guys all worried about? Oh snap. Oh boy. Okay, bye. I guess that guy's just gonna sit there. So that's fine. Alright, goodbye buddy. You sit there. So let's get into it. Basically, why high risers? I'll tell you exactly why high risers and what high risers are and everything about it after I get this guy, because for some reason it seems like I'm the only person who is unable to tase this guy and arrest him. But everybody else seems to be able to just walk up and arrest him. Did I arrest him? No? I don't even know. DOJ NYSP. Thank you for the friend request. Make sure to put your user profile link in the comment section down below. Alright, but basically, why high risers versus just a regular car? Basically, high risers are for helping out on traffic stops. That's the whole point of them. So basically, you have your lights here. As you can see, turn them on. These are for like going code 1. I mean, not code 1. Going code 2 and code 3 to places. And then, say you're pulling somebody over. Let's do it on the highway here. because this is where most of it happens. And most cars that actually need it are usually highway units, because this is where most of the accidents and incidents can occur. So basically, you're going down the highway, you're pulling somebody over, pull them over, and then you put up the high risers. Basically, what the high risers do is offer more lighting for people over here, because there's something called move over law, which basically means if there's a car in this lane right here going down the highway and they see this NYPD car, NYSP car, basically any type of law enforcement car that's pulling somebody over or helping somebody on the side of the road that has their lights on and stuff, they have to move over a lane. But usually that doesn't happen because of traffic and because of a whole bunch of other stuff. So basically they just zoom right by them, even though there's the move over law, and they risk the officer's life. Because look at that. Look how much room I have to maneuver. That's on the side of the road. Not that much. There isn't that much. You could go around the back of the car, but then again, you're walking directly towards traffic. Some of the things are literally going to be a couple inches away from your arm. So you have to risk that just so you can go around the back and then walk down this side, that has a little bit more, what's it called, place to go. Going down here is basically a death wish to talk to the driver. I mean, because they don't, unless they follow the move over law, it's a death wish. That's all it is. There's no way that you're going to be able to just walk like that and talk to the driver. But even walking just back behind the car is very difficult too. And so basically, this just gives the drivers more basically awareness of you being here. Because I mean, let's take them down. Let's take them down. And like take these off the car. All you would have are these lights right here, but mainly these back LED lights. And these back LED lights, you might be able to see to like right about here. But with the high risers on, you're gonna be able to see to like the freeway entrance or something further than that, because I mean they're huge high risers. So yeah, that's the thing with the high risers. And I would go respond to the bank call right now, but I'm kind of talking about high risers and officer safety. And basically, the high risers are not just another light thing for code 3. There's a reason why they're not just up the entire time, and that's because look at this. Can you imagine driving around like this? It is not, what's it called, air, not, I don't know, there's not a good, but there's no aerodynamics, bad wind resistance. There's tons of wind resistance if they were to drive around with these light bars, with these high risers, just up the entire time. And now you'd be saying, just, push the gas a little bit more. Push the gas and you'll be perfectly fine. The wind resistance will be fine. You can counter that off. The problem with that is pushing the gas a little bit more. If it's one NYPD car that just has to push the gas a little bit more, okay, that's a couple $100 in the end that'll cost. If there's like 50 cars that are just have to permanently push the gas a little bit more, you could buy a brand new patrol car with that. You can buy a brand new couple of police vests with that. Blah, blah, blah. Police vests with that. With that money that you're spending by just pushing down the gas a little bit more, there's tons of stuff you could get just because of that wind resistance right here. Another thing, you're going code 3, code 3 down the highway. This thing, all you hear is, and then bam, you just hear something fall off. That thing just fell off was your high risers because of how wind resistant they are, because of how non-aerodynamic it is. If you were to look at this wind, this is super tall off the car. There's a reason why cars are built like this. Like this. Look at the side. Look at how, if you were to look at it like this, the wind goes and hits it right here. There's a reason why the windshield is slanted and not just up and down. Because the wind can go up at an angle and over the car instead of like hitting it. If it was to be basically like this, Even this thing has a little bit of edge to it. And there's a reason for that. So it goes under the car, so it goes over the car. It doesn't just hit it and just stay there. Because if it was just flat, the wind's not going over, it's not going under, it's basically like me. It's just gonna keep on hitting it. It's like water. Water without a slope. If there's water, coming right here, and it goes, and it hits me right here, it's coming down this lane, right here, coming down, 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 down. It's just gonna hit me. Because I'm flat, I'm just gonna go, it's gonna run right into me. Versus having like a little ramp or something. Versus like my cap, if I just put my cap down on the floor because of how the curvature is, just a big cap, it'll go up, around, and over. And basically not be smashing right into it. There's a reason why rocks are smoother, that are, that have tons of erosion, water erosion, because the water smooths it out. It makes it a ramp. Instead of it just being a big slab, it, wears down the edges over time. Because it's been just smacked with that water for so long. And the wind, same thing. If it's windy a lot of the time in that region, that thing is going to get worn down and become smooth like this. And then here, let's go over to the side of the road again. Put down the high risers, and let's just look at the wind resistance right now. If you were to get rid of the high risers, which is already just something that's wind resistant as it is, all you have is this. This is the only thing on top. And as you can see, it's designed for wind resistance. They aren't just lights, but they're on this black board right here. So the wind basically, go like this. The wind basically goes like this, boom, boom. It doesn't go straight head on. This black thing right here divides it so the wind goes either that way or that way, and it goes up and above. So that it's not just straight up just hitting it, just hitting these lights, which are pretty wind resistant. Which is why they have basically a light bar like this, that's just LED instead. Because these things, the problem with this is every single thing like this offers wind resistance. The wind slips through here, slips through there, but I mean, because of how they're all separated, instead of them just being one big V, them being separated like this completely just messes it up. The wind goes through here, the wind goes through here, and so that's the reason why they're starting to get LED bars. Basically like this in the back, like this right there, that's why they want LED bars in their cars. So it's just that one bar that's just like this thing right here. They even have, let's call it, light bars that are this pattern, that are this black pattern where there's lights along here on the outside, lights along here, lights in the back along here. That's like directionals that are yellow or something. And so that basically, that is the light bar. So the light bar is super wind resistant and can keep the wind moving past the car. Keep going that way. ANPR things. ALPRs, ANPRs, oh, I forgot the name of them. These things, they've had them for a long, long time. Or not a long, long time, but a relatively long time. They haven't always been on the tops of cars. They've been attached to traffic lights. They've been attached to things that were never really moving because they were just humongous blocks. They were just big blocks. That's all they were. Big, humongous blocks that were not air resistant. So you could never put them on a car without, like I said before, pushing down the gas a little bit more. And pushing down the gas costs a lot of money that could be spent on an officer's vest or an officer's something else, a Glock, another car with the amount of, depending on how many people have those blocky things, you could buy a brand new patrol car or a used patrol car. Well, you wouldn't really buy it used, would you? No. You could buy a patrol car with that price. Even if it's not like this car, it might be like a Ford Crown Victoria or something else that's super cheap. You could get it. And that's an extra car that's out there. So if there's a shootout and somebody gets their glass shot out, they have a patrol car to be in instead of like a busted up police car or having to go ride with somebody else. There's just an extra police car waiting for them. And the vest. The vest gets shot, they're going to have some type of PTSD, And then B, you can no longer use that vest, so you're going to have to give them a new vest. And with the amount of money you would have spent on these blocks, you can now buy a vest instead. So yeah, these AMPR things, more air resistant than they were before. They're not at their maximum form, but I mean, this is pretty air resistant. More than it was before. They used to be inside the car. They were like this dash cam right here. There's a reason why this dash cam has to be inside the car. A, because it's super expensive, and yeah, you don't want that being damaged. And B, because it is not air resistant at all whatsoever. There's a reason why there's only, all those high powered cameras on street cameras and traffic lights, because they don't move. They have air going up by them, and that's the reason why they start to wiggle and stuff. Like if you ever really see a traffic light in a windy area, they're like moving back and forth or something like that. That's because, they're not that air resistant. They are becoming more and more air resistant, and then for those super windy areas like Florida and all these hurricane states, they're literally just attached with cords, so that when the hurricane comes, the light just sits there and flings around like, basically like one of those balls with the string attached to them, so that those lights are going literally everywhere except for falling down. They do not want those lights falling down, because that creates an electrical problem for them and all types of stuff. So they just let that light, like those things in front of car dealerships, that little flumpy man that's like a blow up thing that sits there and just moves around all day, forward and backward and stuff like that. That's what it becomes. Just blowing in the wind. It has nothing else supporting it except for just some string that allows it to move around so it doesn't just fall and break. This thing right here, all these traffic lights right here, if it was in like some type of hurricane place, hurricane country I guess it's called, or something like that, they would fall and break. They would fall over and be destroyed. And they have in the past fallen over and been destroyed, which is the reason why they don't use them. But yeah, that's the air resistance lesson of today. Spotlights, look at how they are. That's another thing. Spotlights, look at how they are. There's a reason why they're curved like this, so that the air goes right over them. There's a reason why they're semicircles, so the air goes right over them, right under them, doesn't hit them spot on. And you know what you're not doing? You can say, oh, what do you mean? You can just turn the spotlights on like this. Open them up, turn them on. When you have spotlights on like this, you're not driving code 3, 80, 90 miles per hour, 100 kilometers per hour, down a highway, down a street, down something. You're looking for somebody with these spotlights on. You're looking for somebody, which means you're going really slow. Which means, guess what? You know what the funny thing is? And you may be saying, what do you mean? I got more air resistance and stuff? The faster you want to go, the more the little tiny things become big things that slow you down. They become big things that slow you down. There's a reason why airplanes took a while to get to breaking the sound barrier. Because they weren't super aerodynamic and they didn't, well, that's not true. They became more aerodynamic, but they lacked the power for it. Because even the parts that were aerodynamic, they're not as aerodynamic and light as they are now. No way, Jose, they were not. They used metal, they used all this other stuff. They didn't use aluminum like they do now. But yeah, I think that's it. That's it for your aerodynamics lesson. I guess we can go into like, the doors and everything. Yeah, there's a reason why the doors and stuff are like this. Because when you're driving down the highway, there's a reason why this is flat and the front and the back are really not. Even the back here has some type of curvature because the air has to go down and off of it, versus it just being flat and basically it just risks everything if you even try to back up. But yeah, that's it for the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed your lesson on aerodynamics and why there's high risers. Make sure to like, subscribe, share with all your friends. When you subscribe, leave a comment. Make sure to put your profile link, your Roblox profile link, in the comments down below. And I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow, or maybe even later today. Alright, goodbye.